Will you just chill? Don't be giving me the ball every now and again. Just chill out. I'm going to see if I can make myself a coffee. Ow! Not much of a survivalist, am I? If I get pricked by a thorn. Another note to self, never loan out your camping kit. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I nearly did it in that video I did a long time ago, maybe about a year ago now, that. I'll tell you something, a lot's changed since that. What is Curious Cumbria video? I was living in Cumbria at the time, and now we're living on Mull. I better do this relatively quickly because we got hammered by some rain before. Not a strenuous video today, it's just a quick walk out with Bo. Let's see if it actually works. Because if it doesn't, I won't be very happy. It smells like rot. Where are we going to boil it? Down here. Hissing. Oh! First time. Hey hey. Hey hey. Got the luxury stuff today. 3-in-1. Milk, sugar, and coffee. Stop it! So we're outside of Tobermory here, we're about 3 miles out. It's a double track road on the way to Craigmuir where you get the ferry. And you go over a couple of hills and there's a little parking area on the right hand side. Again, I can't remember the name of the walk, but there's a lock at the beginning of it. Loch Freezer, I think it is. Might be wrong, don't know. So yeah, a lot's changed. I was working through the summer and then had to go home early because my dad passed away at the end of October, and I had to go home for the funeral and what have you, and that all happened very quickly, and then when I came back I just felt like I'd been shot out with a cannon, and things haven't quite been the same since. I'm looking for work. I did have a job lined up but it fell through, so So we're looking for some work. But the main thing that I found with his passing is the way that I guess grief manifests itself on the body and the mind. And one unexpected side effect I experienced was severe, and still do, severe anxiety. I mean, I've suffered from anxiety and generalised anxiety disorder in the past, and a couple of bouts of depression just to run that through the mix through my life. But yeah, I felt like I was walking on a gangplank, you know, on one of these pirate ships. Nothing was positive anymore. Nothing was certain anymore. It brought into question loads of stuff that I hadn't thought of, like my own mortality and how fragile things are. And if you're not careful, I would imagine you would probably dissolve into yourself and not do anything. That's how some people would cope with it, I guess. But everybody deals with grief differently, I guess. Yeah, so I came across a video that I filmed with my dad last year. I think it must have been maybe November of last year, just before we got hit with the flu. I think I was living with my parents at the time, and I thought I'd lost this video, but it's about 15 minutes long. Of me and my dad talking in the kitchen, and it was amazing that I found it on my computer. It was buried under so many different folders, and when I got it, I was shocked initially. I was, you know, sad, and I got upset, but after watching it, I'm just really glad I kept that. It's just a little snapshot. It's strange when you go down for the funeral and, you know, everybody's tense, and sometimes it seems to bring out the worst in people sometimes. That whole run up to the funeral and what have you. But yeah, I miss him. He's sometimes here. He's sometimes here. He'll sometimes be up there and like break through the clouds, and the sun just comes down and shines on you. There was one day I was driving home from Tobermory, and it was a pretty rotten afternoon by all accounts, and I just crested the brow of this hill, and the clouds just suddenly poof apart, and it was late afternoon, and there was this gorgeous glow, and it just enveloped me inside the car. I had to stop the car because it was so bright, and I just got a sense that he was there. It was very odd. He was a good man. I think you only seem to remember the last sort of few weeks of his life. You know, I can't seem to remember from times before, like years before, you know, good times like going for walks and Christmas and things like that. You just tend to concentrate a bit more on the bad stuff that was happening towards the end. I didn't see all of that. I don't think I could have. I don't think I could have. scarred me, I think. But on the day that I went down, I had no idea how close he was to passing. He was in the hospice at this point. He was under a lot of pain medication, and my brother said, "Yeah, just come down as quickly as you can." And he got there before me, and I drove down. I didn't drive like a lunatic, but I did drive quite fast, and the weather was horrendous. The weather was absolutely awful on the way down. Actually, there were cars stuck in the side of the motorway because of the rain and the wind. It was quite hair-raising in bits. But I got to the hospice at about 5:30, and my brother was waiting for me outside, and he said, "Look." He said, "It's okay, he's waiting for you." And we were all there, and I walked in, and he obviously it just looked like he was sleeping, and I sat next to the bed, and I held his hand, and within 10 minutes he was just gone. 5:20, I think it was. So he waited for me to get there and make sure we were all together. Which doesn't make sense to me. I don't really understand how he could have known. I don't know. Very bizarre indeed. Ow! Oh, this is hot. Well, this weather's turning again. So I better get a shifty on. I've got some editing to do for another video that I did. I'm really going to try and keep this going, keep uploading. I think it does me good. Well, certainly to get out, it does me good. Trying to increase my fitness, and of course, Bo's 11 now. He ain't getting any younger, and he's my lifeline, so that's going to be a rough one. So I'm trying to get as much time with him as possible. I mean, he's really fit and pain in the arse sometimes. Hey, and yeah, yes. So I'll finish this coffee and then I'll walk back, and then drive home and see what happens. I'm going to try and post more, and I shall see you next time.